Tessa Bennett is in studio with the latest. Tessa, where do things stand in the leadership race right now?
Manisa, it's hard to believe it was only on Monday when the PM resigned, and we're ending the week with a clearer picture of who intends to run in his place. The National Board of Directors met last night and outlined the new rules each candidate must follow in this nationwide process.
Am I ready at the same time to step away from my responsibilities as Minister of Foreign Affairs at a time where it is a crucial time in the Canada-US relationship? And the answer is no.
After a busy week in Ottawa commenced following Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's announcement saying he planned to leave his role as leader of the Liberal Party, the country is zeroing in on what the next few months will look like politically. The Liberal Party's National Board of Directors met Thursday evening to decide on an initial set of rules for the contest, with voting concluding on March 9th. Each contestant will pay an entrance fee of $350,000, a jump from the $75,000 required in the last election. Additionally, the March 9 deadline etched in the calendar leaves contenders limited time to fundraise. While candidates have until January 23rd to enter their name in the race, a number of MPs have already announced their intention to, or not to, campaign. There were several contenders whose names were floated in Parliament this week, including Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly. But despite speculation and a comment made earlier this week saying she was reflecting on the opportunity, Joly announced this morning she was not planning to campaign.
I've received a lot of support from across the country, and I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all these supporters.
Joly joins Minister of Finance and Intergovernmental Affairs Dominic LeBlanc, who also said this week he intended to remain in his current role within government. Liberal Ontario MP Chandra Arya threw his name in the ring yesterday, joining Frank Baylis and Stephen McKinnon, who confirmed their campaign intentions earlier this week. But two of the most speculated about candidates have yet to announce whether or not they'll be gunning for the party's top job. Former Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland is highly favored, with a long resume in the Liberal Party.
She's by far the best known. What has hurt her is her association with Trudeau, but the fact that she broke with Trudeau now has elevated her status greatly.
And former central banker Mark Carney.
He has a very high reputation in international economic and financial circles.
Carney has found himself at the center of controversy after photos were circulated online showing him with the imprisoned ex-girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Carney's would focus on economic issues, on financial issues. Freeland, in contrast, I think is still more identified with the social side of the Liberal Party.
There's another contender who is gaining traction, BC's former Premier Christy Clark.
Clark's problem is this. She's very, 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 very well known in British Columbia. Everybody knows who she is. She was the Premier. I think she's quite well known in Alberta. But in the rest of the country, she's not that well known. They're going to use a ranked ballot. So if nobody gets 50% of the vote on the first ballot, then a lot of people who may not want Freeland or Carney end up voting for that person.
Along with the increased entrance fee for candidates, voter eligibility in Canada will also be different this time around. Voting will be limited to Canadian citizens and permanent residents only.